This is Maury of Yeshoro. I have a question. What is the sheaf? Here's the answer. The first fruit. What is the first fruit? When your harvest first sprouts from the ground. Look at the illustration. Do you see the categories? Winter barley and spring barley. How long does winter barley take to ripen? 90 days. How long does spring barley take to ripen? 40 days. What's the difference? The rain, the dew, and the heat. Wayakara, which is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 11. And he, who is he, the Kahan, shall wave the sheaf before Yahuwah to be accepted for you. On the morrow, after the Shabbat, the priest shall wave it. Why is the priest waving the sheaf? So that Yahuwah can open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing where there will not be room enough to receive it. Does he have the ability to give you a harvest in the winter months? Of course he does. You see the illustration? Comes from Ukraine, far to the north, near Russia. Where's the promised land? It's in the south, closer to the equator. The climate is totally different. It is Yah's land. He can open up the door to the sun, send it through a portal, open up the window, target his land, and give you the rain, the dew, and the heat. How can he do that? He controls the elements. For all these years, they've used witchcraft on you, telling you that you have to be near an equinox. Let's begin. Wayakara, you would say Leviticus chapter 23, verse 9 to 11. 9. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe and said this, hold it. Who's the speaker? He who is seated upon the throne. Whose laws are these? He who is seated upon the throne. Who is giving the instructions? He who is seated upon the throne, and his name is Yahuwah. So these are not the laws of a man. They are not the laws of Moshe. 10. Speak unto the children of Yesharo. Here's your target group. No one else. From Genesis to Revelation, no one else does he speak to or care about. And say unto them, them is a pronoun. It describes a person, place, or thing. Who is them? The children of Yesharo. So this promise is only for one people. When you be come into the land, who is you? The children of Yesharo, which I will give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof. Then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits when your harvest first sprouts from the ground of your harvest unto the priest, the Kahan. There's a people in the land today. Are they doing this? Come on. Think about it. They have no priesthood. They have no temple. You want to hear something really weird? There's only one tribe there. Jew. Where's the rest of the tribes? In the book, does it say that only one tribe will be gathered from all the places that they've been scattered around the world? It tells you all of us. Everything about them, their activities, is fraudulent. They don't keep the law. And in some respects, neither do you. If you're following them, speaking of an equinox, adjusting a calendar, you have denied your father. You know, the speaker here, you have spit in his face. This promise is only for us when we come into the land. No one has seen this abundance of a harvest for thousands of years. It will not return until we return. 11. And he, who's he, the Kahan, shall wave the sheaf before Yahuwah to be accepted for you on the morrow, after the Sabbath. The Kahan shall wave it. After what Sabbath? Well, this is connected to the Feast of Unleavened Bread. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the 7th day of the feast, you are to bake, boil, you can kindle a fire. Yeah, everything you need to do to prepare your feast, but you have to store some up for the next day. Why? Because you go directly into your normal weekly Sabbath. It's the 8th day of the feast. Let me show you. Debar Yam, you would say, Deuteronomy, chapter 16, 5 to 8. 5. You may not sacrifice the Passover, the Passah, within any of your gates, which Yahuwah Alayak giveth you. Did you know that the instructions changed from the land of their captivity in Egypt, then to the wilderness, then when they come into the land? 6. But at the place which Yahuwah Alayak shall choose to place his name in, there, and only there, can you sacrifice the Passah at even. You cannot sacrifice the lamb any place in the lands of your captivity. You cannot do it, period. The priesthood has already been established. If you go ahead of the priesthood, you're in violation. At the going down of the sun, in case you thought it was at sunrise. At the season. The season? No, the word is muad. It means appointed time. Why do they keep putting season in the book? Because they use a sun calendar. Tell me something. What season did they come out of the land of Egypt? Some people say it's in the spring. because Yahuwah smote the harvest of the Egyptians. Did you know that there's a harvest in the spring? There's a harvest in the 3rd month. There's a harvest in the 7th month. Which one was it that they came out of the land of Egypt? Hey, he never told you to follow a season, did he? He told you in the 1st month, the first Hadash, in which the father stretched forth his arm to the house, you are to celebrate this feast. You're not to follow a season. You're to follow a month. And the word is Hadash. So the word season should not be here. It is appointed time that you came forth out of Egypt. 7. And you shall roast and eat it in the place which Yahuwah Alayak shall choose. And you shall turn in the morning and go unto your tents. What day is this? The 14th day in the evening is Yahuwah's Passover. So this is the first day of the feast. 8. 6 days you shall eat unleavened bread. Hold it 1 second. I thought it was 7 days you are to eat unleavened bread. That is correct. Go back to verse 7. There's your first day. Then begins your 6 working days. If you add those together, how many days would that be? 7. Now look what it says next. And on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Yahuwah Alayak. You shall do no work therein. You come right back to your regular weekly Sabbath. So the 7th day, which comes after the 6 working days, plus the 14th day in the evening, which is the high holy day, if you add them together, 8 days. Understanding biblical principles are not for children. Your teacher must be educated. He must not be grounded and rooted in Christian doctrine, Jewish corbanots, or anything that the world supplies. Let's return to Wayakara 12. And you shall offer that day, when you wave the sheaf, a he-lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yahuwah. There's some people in the land. Are they doing this today? They have no priest. They have no Kahan. They have no temple. They have no king. There's only one tribe there. A tribe that is not listed in the book. 13. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour, mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah for a sweet savor. He wants to eat bread with you. And the drink offering thereof shall be of wine the 4th part of a hin. He wants to drink wine with you. You are to pour out a drink for him, because he wants to eat, drink, and be merry with you at the place where he put his name in. Hey, check this out. At the appointed time, Can you do this whenever you want to? You have to follow his instructions. You have to follow his sign. You have to follow his Hadash. 14. And you shall eat neither bread nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that you have brought an offering unto Yahuwah, Allah Yakam. When is this to be done again? When you become in the land. There's a people in the land. They say that they are the people that are in that book. They say that their barley harvest was not ripe in 2019, so they had to add an additional month to the calendar. So they did receive a harvest. They were there for 70 years. Did they bring the sheaf to the priest, the he-lamb, the 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil for a sweet savor, and the drink offering to Yahuwah? The Lord reveals sin. The Lord reveals wickedness. Through the law, all of your enemies will be found liars. Check this out. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations and in all your dwellings. If they are the people of the book, they have to observe this statute. And if they're not, they're in violation. They're showing you nothing but fraudulent behavior. Hey, look at something else. And you shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the selfsame day that you have brought an offering unto your Allah Yakam. What day would this be? It's the day after the Sabbath. Let me say it another way. It is the day after the 8th day of the feast. Wisdom has returned to Yeshua. It is now our time to shine. Take up your swords, brothers. Learn this knowledge. And no one, and I mean no one, can stand against you. Continue to part 2. Shalom.